Guys, can you hear me? Just testing. Show me some sign, thumbs up sign, for example, just to know. So,
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor.
Okay,
can hear you.
So we're still waiting because we made official that class will be started at 2:30. Yeah, I have to wait. I will start sharp at 2:30. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum. So now it's 2:30 already, so you just proceed. Okay, yeah, before we start, so perhaps you can see here the screen of Putra Blast. Okay, yeah, just before forgotten, now we are in week 5, is it? Today is week 5. So we're going, just announcement, we're going to have a midterm exam next week on the week 6. Yeah, I'll let you know later the dates once I confirm with the other groups. Okay, and it's, as you might already aware that I uploaded 2 pre-recorded lecture last time. It's about configuration management, Somerville. So today I'm going to discuss this. Yeah, this the one that I uploaded, but I'm not going to repeat the lecture obviously, but I just want to kind of go through a kind of what's summarize use that. Summarize, so then it will be easier for you to understand perhaps. Yeah. Okay, again, exam, we're going to have exam next week on the week 6 during class hour. So normally we're going to use 2 hours class session, which is today. Yeah, today's hour. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And before forgotten, again, make sure you do this attendance record. Yeah. Um. Okay. So let me show you these slides. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Again, as I said, just I'm not going to repeat the lecture because you already listened to my pre-recorded lecture. There, well, the ones that I uploaded to Putra Blast. But today I just want to go through and highlight some important issues and might simplify something so that it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, so it's about configuration management. Okay, now listen. Configuration management is not from the word configurations. Normally makes lots of people out there confused with the term configurations. Even some of students before, you might think that configuration is something related to what's configuring, setting up something. Yes, this is setting up, but it's not configuration that you might understood before. Configuration here is from the development side when we configure the way how we work, so then everything will in place. Now I give you two situations, okay, to ease your understanding on this. One situation, let's say now for a big company such as Microsoft Windows, for example, yeah, uh, we do have updates for Microsoft Windows almost every day. Yeah, and how many thousands, billions of Microsoft Windows user, and each of us might installing different updates. Yeah, for example, my computer might have different update, different patches that I update. Your computer would have different patches, and your patches and my patches would be different. So it means that now we have multiple versions. We have more than one versions of Microsoft Windows. Okay, your version and my version will be different. Even the slight difference would be as simple as maybe mine will be less one update from you, and we are not talking about one user. We're talking about billions of users. So how many actually versions of Microsoft Windows has at very specific moment? So now when it's come for maintenance, okay, let's say if I made call to Microsoft Office, which is located somewhere in, their customer relationship officer is located in China, in Hong Kong. I did call them before. Okay, so now let's say if one of these customer, me for example, I call them. So first thing they need to know which version that I have in my computers, so that it's easier for them to find the related component, and then it's easier for them to fix. Okay, so now can you see now, because we have more than one version of the same system, will be thousands of versions, thousand variety difference of versions installed in on our client side. So we need a way so then it's easier for us to track, okay, what versions that installed in the computer, in the our client computer, and what are the members of component for that particular versions, so then we can fix related component. That's one situation. So this is where configuration management are required, are important to trace this. Okay, another one situation is, imagine in a company when you work as a developer after this, yeah. Obviously, in your company, it's not going to have one or two programmer. Would be 10, would be 20, would be 100 sometimes for a big company. And it is happened in a situation when you might work on the same source code. You and your friend are working on the same source code, but then you and the other one, your friend, might developing different solution, different code. Yeah, you're working on the same source code, but you might have your own solution. Your friend might working on the other solution. Okay, now the question is, at the end of the day, which version that your team should use in the next versions of the one that going to be installed in client computers, client side. Okay, you got me or not? Yeah. So it means that now we have to have more than one versions under development. So at the end of the day, which one will be used? So again, we have now I bring you two concepts, multiple versions, not only at the client side, but might as well multiple version during development process on developing side. So these two different situation is the one that covered by configuration management. It's not configuration means of setting or fixing something. Wow, Fadi, nice song then. Okay, so this is the topics covered for this chapter. Okay, version management. Okay, the scenario that I tell you that I told you just now is actually related with this one, which is covered for this chapter, which is covering version management, system building, change management, and release management. Okay, now first version for as for now, the one that I uploaded covering version management, but somehow also related with system building. Okay, for system building, okay, system building for a big software is not as simple as you might do in your programming one or programming two or even your final project. Okay, because we deal with a lot of component. Normally, in your development, you might the system building might as simple as you compile and then you got the exe file straight away. Yeah. But for big system, normally we will compile, of course, to remove any syntax error, and then we do testing, and then in the end we create what we call as .o object. Okay, .o is not. Is that? So can you please mute your microphone, please? Yeah. Where am I just now? I was forgotten. Where am I? Anyone, please answer me.
System building, compile.
System building
Yes.
this stuff.
Yes. In your case, the system building might as simple as compiling and then removing all syntax error. But for big company, normally because we deal with a lot of component, so many programmers, we have multiple versions, yeah, and we have multiple versions, we have multiple programmers, of course. So what we do, there are systematic approach where before we execute the exe file, we execute .o file. There are transition happen, yeah. Your code from your code will be created as .o. .o is actually dot object. Okay, then this dot object is later combined and finally become .exe. So there are related with version management things in system building. So this will be explained later. Okay, yeah, just okay. So for the introduction for this one, look what is configuration management. Concerned with the policies, processes, and tool for managing changing software system. Because of this, the situation that I said to you just now, must have proper way on managing things. So then we are not what called redundant, and we are keep track on every item, every component involved in our software. So for that reason, we require policies, process, and okay. Yeah, policies is regarding SOP, standard operating procedure. Yeah. Uh, we will learn this when it's come to change management. Okay, the procedure, what we should do to handle this change, and of course processes and tool. Okay, the one that we're going to discuss today. Okay, so these are some activities in configuration management. Yeah. Again, related to the scenario that I mentioned to you just now. Okay, these are the activities. So we have version management, we have system building, we have change management, we have release management. Okay, version management is to track, okay, all versions of the source code. While system building also related to this also all version, and but it requires some knowledge on the process to use some tool. Okay, change management is related to SOP, the flow that we should follow. Okay, otherwise our change is out of control. And release management is about the way how we're going to release our software to customers. It's not as simple as go and install to them. There are some proper way in doing this. Okay, and this diagram mentioning on how each of these activity are actually supporting each other, are comprehending each other. Yeah, because each of these activities has its own output that will become output for the next process. For example, system building and version management, we will have component version for each of the item we produce as we assign a specific number and specific ID, and then this is combined, okay, in system building, become into one system, and system itself has so many versions. Okay, so this will become input for change management and release management later on when the evolution started. Okay, and finally, okay, and this evolution started with the change proposal, and finally released as the new system. Okay, as I said just now, I'm not going to go through each of the slides. I just want to simplify. I just highlight some important. Okay, so obviously configuration management is very important in software development, especially in Agile. I believe that we already discussed Agile before. What's the difference between Agile and stage development is, while in stage development, we have to do everything in sequence. We need to complete every stages before we continue to next stages. So perhaps that is good for big project, okay, but then for small and medium project, and when we require very fast changing of the requirement, they use Agile. Okay, for Agile, they focus on code instead of documentation on the process and everything. They focus on the code. Okay, so whatever request by, so normally they will work closely with the client. They get request from the client and straight away fix the code. And then after the code has been satisfied by the customer, they will update the documentation and update back all the necessary related reports. So that is Agile. Obviously, this approach requires even more proper configuration management. Without it, it's even going out of control. Okay, so we'll see this later. The way how configuration management are actually useful or very important to manage Agile. Okay, basically in software development, okay, in software productions, there are three main activities here. Yeah, we have a development phase where we creating new features. Yeah, we're creating all the features. We'll fulfill all the user specifications, user requirement. So this is development phase. And next, after that, we do what we call a system testing. During this time, we do not produce any new features, but we just test it just to make sure that the software that we develop according to specification. And finally, we release them. So all these three phases, this is called as production software product development phases. Yeah. So all of these phases are in the interest of configuration management. Okay, to avoid any problem that I mentioned just now. Guys, are you okay, or am I too fast? Okay. Okay. So yeah, in relation with the scenario that I mentioned to you just now, multi-versions. Okay, multi-version. Microsoft Office, for example, yeah, for live system, there is never just one working version of a system. Even as I said just now, Microsoft Windows, we might have hundreds of thousands of versions. They might announce as what Windows 2000, Windows whatever name, but each of that version has its own subversion. And remember, for every particular time, they will produce patches to update. And not every their customer might update it according to the schedule. So this, we end up with creating more and more multiple subversions. Yeah. So without proper configuration management, this will be totally out of control. Now, this diagram is spanning what I mentioned just now. Yeah. For example, we have version 1, version 2, version 3. So look, so version 1, even for version 1, for example, Microsoft, is keep updating, yeah, pre-release version 1, and then we have version 1.1, version 1.2, and then version 1.3. This is by the means of what do you call patches, and not all of this version is released. Okay, sometimes and what this one is pre-release. Pre-release means that is updated according to patches. Yes, patches. Well, this one is formally released when they announce as a new version and everyone install it. Yeah, is it even the one that, for example, for Microsoft, after this release, that means that after specific date, whoever purchased Microsoft Windows after this release will receive this version instead of the original version. But throughout the time, okay, while waiting for the next release, throughout the time we only receiving patches. Yeah. Okay, so look how many versions we have, and then some of them is released, some of them as a pre-release. And at the same time, even version 1.0 might as well what they call evolve to become second version. And again, the second version also would be updated according to lots of reasons, the software change that we already discussed before. And then can even this 2.3 might also become another version. So this is what actually happened in software industry. So we have multi-version. So now at the end of the day, if one of your customer calling you and they're having problem with these specific areas of the software, so without proper configuration management, how can you know which version that your customer is working at, okay, is using, and which component for specific version that you need to dig, to find, and then to fix? It's really problematic if without proper configuration management. Okay, this chapter also come because it's normal. This chapter also comes with the terminology. Okay, lots of term, lots of definition that there's no other way because this is definition, and now this will be explained throughout the chapter. But it's also good because it's combined in this table, so it takes time to read this. I hope that you already did this. Yeah, it's easier for you to understand. And there are some coffee break for my video session, as I just don't want you to get stuck with the video for a long time. You're free to take 5 minutes, for example. Okay, so just now was the introduction of configuration management. So now the first topic is about version management. Yeah, again, it's related to multiple version. Yeah, multiple version from the perspective of user is they have multiple version installed on their computer, and at the same time, we from the perspective of developer, we have multiple versions of file that we produce in daily basis, daily basis. Okay, so for this version management, we have two concepts. Okay, we have code line and baseline. So what is code line and baseline? I believe that you already watched this. I just want to simplify this, and I show you this diagram straight away. So what is code line? Code line is a group of a source code, okay, that's actually evolved from the original source code. For example, we have source code A that might evolve into code into version A 1.1, version A 1.2, A 1.3, and as well we have code line B, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So and then what is baseline? Baseline is actually collections. Okay. Baseline is actually one version and a package that considered as a version, which is consists of members from different code line. For example, in for baseline V1 version 1, we have members from original version of A, and then version of B 1.2 from code line B. Okay, and then component from a component version C 1.1 from code line C, and some libraries and external component. Yeah. So as well as baseline V2, okay, also has different members from different component from different code line. Okay, so this is example because this is example on what we have this is example on how distributions of the source code happen according to versions. So it means that if let's say after this you have different version of your software, you need to find which baseline actually is referred to the version that used by your client. Yeah. So then for example, if your client is using version 1 or version 1 point something something, now you have a documentation showing showing the members of as the component of that particular baseline. So then oh, this is consists of this and this. So then you can refer to, oh, this one is related with B1.2. So check B1.2, and finally you find specific file, source code file, so that you can do you're fixing that. Okay, probably understand what is code line and baseline. Yeah, so means that let's say for Microsoft Microsoft Windows example. Yeah, so each of us might have different baseline because every update patches that we install, we might updating this baseline component member, baseline member. Yeah. Okay, so next is about version control system. Okay, there are two types of version control system. Okay, before this, when I was student, I learned about CVS, but now they have this SVN, subversion, or in short, we call subversion or SVN, and Git. Okay, subversion is the what we call centralized system. So it means that we have one repository server. Okay, so all the programmers is connected to that server. So then every morning you will have to refer to that server to what they call to copy source code that you're going to edit for that day. So you will download the source code and edit it in your local computer. Okay, so this is SVN. So SVN will track all the changes. And while for while for what do you call it? The first one is good for centralized. Centralized means for co-located programmers. When you are working on the same building, for example, the same universities in the lab, same lab, for example. But according to current development trend nowadays, we are actually working in a huge collaborative environment where our members might come from different side of the world. So for that situation, GIT is more proper because GIT is distributed system. So it means that we might have more than one server. They are distributed server, but then among this server, one of the server is considered as master that will at the end of the day will control GIT. If you Google in YouTube in the internet about this, there are plenty of videos explaining this about SVN, subversion, and GIT. Even let's say I just want to show something for you. This one, look, plenty of them. Yeah, I wanted to show it here, but most of them taking quite long. Yeah, this is 18 minutes, 1 hour, some of them. Yeah, but overall, this is the features of SVN and GIT. Yeah. Okay. In one of your assignment later on, you will have to review. Okay, this some of these too later on. Okay, so what are the features of this tool? Okay, the SVN and GIT. Okay, what are the features they provide? Okay, they have these features: version and release identifications, okay, change history recording, support for independent development, project support and storage management. I'm not going to repeat the lecture. You can listen there. Even if you notice, I also provide this. Yeah, I think you already noticed this. Okay, these details. This is exactly the same script that I use in my recorded video for you to read, just in case you having problem to download the whole video. Okay, so these are other features. Yeah, but later on I will also explain some of the important features at the end of the slides. Okay, for both GIT and SVN just now, okay, are implementing this concept. Okay, we have public repository and private workspace. While you can listen to my pre-recorded lecture for this. Okay, and this, but I just want to straight away go to this diagram because this is actually concluding all whatever I said just now. Okay, so this is okay. Imagine in an office. Okay, we have Alice and Bob. Okay, and then Alice and Bob as working as a programmer. So each of them has their own workstation. Each of them has their own laptop, for example. And we have this virtual management system. Either in this case would be SVN, yeah, because they're working in the same company. Okay, normally early in the morning when they come to the office, so Alice and Bob will access the virtual management system. This is called public server, public access, yeah, public space for everyone. We'll access this virtual management system, and then we'll check out. Check out means we'll copy from one of the version here, for example B1.0. We'll check out this into at least we'll check out B1.0 to her own workspace, and Bob, for example, will check out Y1.0 to his own workspace, and then do the coding, changing, do whatever that. Okay, so later in the evening, okay, they after they finish with the updating the specific source code, so what they do, they check in back the file to the version management system. Okay, so by doing this way, just in case just in case if Alice and Bob, for example, working on the same source code, for example, this one, look, Alice are working on the same source code, C1, C1.0, C1.0, this one. But even though when this is updated here in the version management system, it's not going to be clash redundant. No, because version management system has some technology, so then they will make sure that this thing is not going to clash up, because at the end of the day, your boss will decide to choose which version that they will use. Okay, I think this is a kind of automated way, because normally what normally you do in your for group assignment of your programming tool, for example, you might want to keep something like what do you call Java dot something something uh, developed by whatever names of your friend's name, Ali, for example, and second one is what, Raja, second one is Wong, for example, third one, yeah. And then when they update new one, you might want to create a Raja, the latest one. And when the same guy sending again, this is the most latest one. So this is what normally happens. So now for this one, no, everything will be managed by version management system. You don't have to worry about naming on and anything. So the version management system will track this. I'll explain to you the technology they use, because from this you might think that obviously we need a kind of a bigger space of storage for version management system, is it? Because as if that they creating duplicated file, but actually no. Version management system is not duplicating the file, but they only keep the different. They only store the different, not the original file. Yeah, I'll explain later this technology. Yeah. Okay, so this one is what you call centralized SVN. Yeah, while centralized control management version management system, which is SVN, and the other one is distributed. Yeah, distributed is the one, the example of this tool, the one the essay just is GIT or Git. Yeah. Okay, in this setting, distributed. Okay, for example, let's say Alice is working on Kuala Lumpur, Bob is working in the United States branch. Okay, while the master would be somewhere in, I don't know, underground. In my room, for example, I'm the king. Just kidding. So early in the morning, so what they do? Okay, again they will clone the whole. Okay, they will clone this master repository into their repository. Yeah, they will clone. And okay, and Bob, my imagine Bob is actually head of department, at least of his department, of his branch. Bob might working with their friend, okay, with the department member, with the setting, similar setting to the one that I said just now. This setting, yeah. So it means that will be checked in and checked out by all the team members, and at the end of the day, everything will be here. Yeah, everything will be in Bob repository or at least repository, and only on the final stage when they want to what do you call, to release the system. Okay, now the boss will choose which version will be used from Bob and Alice. Okay, it's basically similar. It's just that here is in distributed environment, so slightly different style of distributions. Okay, and these are some benefit of distributed version control system. You can read it here. Obviously, if let's say one copy is problematic, we still have another backup on some part of the world, for example. Yeah, you can read that. You can read here. Okay, and this approach is even used by open source development. In open source development, look, okay, this one is distributed, but in the context of company. Okay, we might have proper person who is in charge, okay, as the team leader for a particular site. But for open source programmers, open source project, they use similar approach of distributed SVN. Okay, distributed SVN. But here now, I think it's better if I give you example. Who's the inventor of Linux? Karonia Tim Sharif, is it? Okay, Linux.
Mm,
Who's the inventor of Linux?
Linus.
Yeah, what Linus? Linus Torvald. Okay, so Linus Torvald is already old nowadays. So as I mentioned before, now we have we have I think more than last 10 years they have more than 100 flavor of Linux. But I think now would be several more hundred. Would be 1,000 of flavors of Linux. Okay, so now, for example, Linux. Well, Linux has environment. They have thousands of users. Okay, thousands of users developing Linux. Okay, so in this case, so how to track all these thousands of users? So they have the distributed version management system. But now Linus Torvald is Charlie here. Okay, Linus Torvald. Okay, Linus Torvald is the one who will decide for final versions. Okay, who will choose which updates that has been created by different side of the world, different programmers, to become the one that they release as the official one. Yeah. Example for this one. So in the case of Linux, for example, Linux has its own server. Yeah. So everyone will copy from Linux server. Okay, from Linux server to their own repository. Each of these programmer. Yeah. And then when they finish working with that, they will put in their own public repository. Okay. So means that for their repository, for each of these programmers, they has private and public repository. First, they will download to their own private repository and they work until finally they do the testing and then happy with the result and install on public repository. Okay, public repository would be located on the same server because all of these programmers normally they are connected with one open source server. Everything was, if I'm not mistaken, last one it was in Jakarta, I think. Yeah. Um. Yeah, Jakarta project. Okay, so each of these has its own public repository. Yeah, so Alice version put in Alice public repository, Bob version post in Bob's public repository. So when it's come for the release, okay, Linus Torvald will choose, okay, from which of this repository to become baseline that's going to be released as a specific version. That's right, and will update back to definitive project repository. So this is what happened in open source development. Okay, and there are also concept of branching and merging. Okay, happen, and this as well covered by version control management. For example, okay, look from version 1, okay, and then change into version 2. So this is called branching. So now we already have branching. Yeah. So version 2.1 become version 2.1.1, version 2.1 become 0.2.2. So another branch, and it might happen as well. Sometimes we have this kind of merging. So this is concept of branching and merging. So all of this is covered by version management system. Yeah. Okay, regarding remember the one that I said just now. Okay, one of the problems happened to the traditional version management system when they require huge space. Okay, and huge space last time was very expensive because as if that every time when we create this version, as if that we storing a partial of redundant source code, isn't it? The same source code, but with some changes. So we can see obviously here there are wasting of spaces. So version management system require in the traditional setting they require very huge storage size, and obviously this is impossible for open source developer. Okay, because we have even thousands of developers working on the same project. Okay, so this is crazy. So what's the solution they created? So now instead of keeping all the redundant file, okay, instead of duplicating the whole file and then changing a bit, so now they're not copying the whole file. So the version management system will store only the differences. For example, now for version 1, okay, and then updated into version 1.1. Obviously, for version 1.11, it is not going to duplicate the whole version of 1.1, but only store the different. Yeah, only store. Whose alarm is there? So, for example, this one. So the version management system will only store the difference, okay, to create every version. Yeah, to create every version. Look, for example, version 1.1 is actually related. Sorry, to have version 1 is what it was stored is D1. We call it delta. Okay, delta 1. And then to create version 1.1 is actually produced by delta 2. Okay, and then version 1.2 is produced from Delta 3. Okay, so let's say now the final version that we have is actually the final version, the current version that we have now is version 1.3. So how to produce this is simply by simply reversing back from D1, D2, D3, and then finally having this one. Yeah. So in the end, by doing this, we managed to save a lot of space. You understand? Is it or not? Are you with me? So now instead of duplicating everything, they only recording the difference, only the difference. Okay, and yeah, this is the same also explained to GIT. You can read this here. Okay, so we done the okay, I done explanation of the one that I already uploaded. So next, so on Wednesday I will upload another pre-recorded, but this time for system building and the other portion, which is the other one, system building and release management. Okay, any question, class? Again, we're going to have exam next week. I will let you know the details regarding the time, regarding the coverage, everything. But just for the time being, just prepare whatever chapter that already covered in this class. Yes, who asked me questions now?
Yeah, it's me. Can you make it? Is there any chance to make it in week 7? Because next week, same day, we have another midterm.
Yes, of course, because yeah, it's in schedule.
Oh, so
But
it's
but
already
but
scheduled for next week.
yeah, because that's why we decided to do that during class times. It's not going to be clash. It's another group.
Yeah, it's not about clashing. It's about preparing two midterms in the same day.
Yeah, what to do is it has been scheduled before. Okay, anyhow, it's going to be open book exam, is it? You will be in the at home. Is that so much to prepare? I think as long as you understand the one that we discussed in class, I think shouldn't be a problem then. Okay, even though this is open book, make sure you prepared. I mean, you need to understand. Okay, because if you just want to trying to understand everything during the exam, doesn't matter whether the one is open book or not, it will be problem. But I think it's yeah, but to decide to make it on the other weeks, the same thing will be happen. Believe me, even in the following weeks, there will be also another exam together with another subject. Yeah, because mine for this group, so for this subject, it's not only one group. So I have to discuss this with the other one. Anyhow, I will take note on your request. Okay, but for the time being, yeah, for the time being, it will be next week. Unless if there is further change, I will let you know later. This one depends on the discussion on the with the other group. Yeah, with the other
Okay,
lecturer.
doctor.
Yeah, I will
Thank
take
you
note.
for considering that.
Yeah. Because is there any question regarding our chapter today about version management? So perhaps as a conclusion, you see that the technology is provided by this tool, very important tool in software management, especially when we deal with a lot of version. And this multiple version is not only for customer side, client side, but as well as our side, developer side. So this version management system is actually helping us in tracking this and make sure everything is in place, everything is trackable. Okay, is there any question? Nope. I think if there is no question, I think we're done for today. Yeah, just please take note. I will let you know later if I uploaded the pre-recorded version videos for the next portion of this chapter.
Okay, doctor. Everything is
Okay.
clear.
Okay, good. So I think if there is, just in case you don't understand anything, you can just repeat the video as much as you want. Okay. Even this version also, our today's version is also recorded. Okay, class. So if there's nothing to ask, okay, if there's no more question, I think we meet again next week. So for this Wednesday class, I will also upload another pre-recorded lecture. And again, I'm going to discuss it later in the following weeks. Okay, see you then. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rada.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, bye.